Welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O Melia here. I got my coffee. I don't have any styrofoam cups. They're gonna be hard to come by soon. You know, that's the next thing. You got the plastic bags and paper bags. They'll no longer be available at the supermarkets because we want to be environmentally correct. I have no idea what the problem is with brown paper bags in Jersey, and we're the only state that is banning brown paper bags. I can understand the plastic, or they blow around in the streets and all, but that's not the plastic bag. That's our fault. We don't handle plastic properly. Opening, plastic bags are going to get expensive because all the fuel is going up. Pumping our own gas, that looks like that's going to become a reality here in New Jersey because we're the state of compromise. We compromise in everything now. You got a new law in effect with bicyclists and skateboarders. If they're on the road with you, you got to make sure you give them at least 4 feet, or you have to go into the next lane. It quietly went into effect this week for bicyclists. And I want to point out, I think it's 2019, 2020. I don't know if we still have the graph that John put it up. 0.28% of Jersey people commuted by bike. 0.28%. Even if we doubled it, it would be like, 0.6%. It's such a minute amount. And we're throwing all this infrastructure, and now they're changing the laws so you can get some points on that, by the way. But it looks like we'll be pumping our own gas. And what they're talking about doing is have some islands, full service, some self-service. Jersey is the last state where it's full service. You can't pump your own gas. I've been pumping my own gas for years. I go to the same gas stations. I figured out the interface on the computers, how to put the card in and input the information. Figured it all on my own. If I'm at the BP, I usually use BP gas, or I'll sometimes get Quick Check here in Tom's River. I do it all by myself. They're saying we will save 15 cents a gallon if we go to self-service. I sincerely doubt those numbers. And I would hate to see all the jobs that are lost. And these are usually kids, young guys, young gals who are working in the gas station, or seniors. It's extra money for them, part-time jobs. Nobody's doing that for a lifetime. But Jersey girls don't pump gas. It'll be interesting to see if this gets past Trenton. Again, we're the state of compromise, so we compromise at everything, so I'm sure it will be. And Jersey girls will no longer be able to say, I don't pump gas. I prefer it stay the way it is. I was one of those kids at one time pumping gas. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, certified parts and service located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. We're back, Tom's River Show. It's problem with these paper cups and cardboard. They lose their shape. The styrofoam holds together. Now, I could get a coffee mug, but then I got to clean the coffee mug. Ukraine. Normally, I don't get into national or global situations here, but there is a real... Now, we're shooting this on Wednesday. As you can see, you may see the ashes on my head. And we, edit the show up. John does the editing on it, and then we FTP it to Comcast. So we do it on Wednesday. You see it on Saturday. I doubt the situation will be any different in Ukraine by Saturday. If anything, Russia will have won. There was no way the Ukraine was going to withstand a superpower. And that's what Russia is. We're a superpower. China is a superpower. There's only a few superpowers, and we're it. And we're one of them. And there was no way Ukraine was going to hold off the Russian troops. And it's awful what is occurring in the Ukraine. It's devastating. We're seeing, listen, it could go global, but what you're seeing is a real war here. It's a real war that we're looking at from the outside. Usually where we're in Afghanistan or Iraq, this is another two countries for change we're not involved with yet. Thing with Russia, unlike the United States, and I'm a proud American, but we tie our troops up. Russia fights the war to win. There's no doubt about that. There's no fighting with one arm tied behind their back. And when you listen to the soldiers, whether it's from NAM or Afghanistan, whatever, there was always that talk we weren't allowed to do everything. That is not a problem with Russia. Everything is on the table. Their full arsenal is in play, including a nuclear option. They're on high alert. Now, every nuclear weapon doesn't have to be one that takes out a third of a nation. There are smaller nuclear weapons they can use. And if you're looking at countries that have nukes, and there's a lot of them, Russia would be on the top of the list of who might use one. I'm more concerned with Korea and Iran having nuclear capabilities than I am Russia. But Russia is going to fight a war to win. And anybody thinking Putin is backing out of there, I ain't going to happen. If a peace is reached by the time this show airs, it won't be one that the Ukrainian government or their people will be happy with. But at least bloodshed will be over. We as a nation should do all we can to help the Ukraine up to military intervention. We can't get involved that way. We can't put our troops in the line of fire. There's talk in Washington about enforcing a no-fly zone over the Ukraine. Right now, Russia's flying over there. Good. Let NATO. That's why we're the biggest investor in NATO and the United Nations. We're basically funding that. If you remember, Trump was pulling that money back, saying, "Why are we putting so much money into the United Nations and NATO when other countries are putting in, nickels?" Let NATO do it. Because what they're talking about in D.C. from some senators and congresspeople is having our military, along with the NATO, enforce a no-fly zone. Listen, Russia's not going to stop because we say there's a no-fly zone. They're going to fly. And that means we have to intercept them. And that's when things jump ugly. We don't need that. Our military personnel cannot get involved under any circumstances. We're not the world's bouncers. Every time something happens, we are humanitarians. We're big on the democracy, of course. We're against, communism. But it's not our job to tell every nation how to live. We should do all we can for human rights and democracy, fine, with the exception of putting our troops on the ground or in the air. Equipment, send it over. But usually when it starts with equipment, it escalates. Sanctions, put all the sanctions in. The only thing with the sanctions, Russia can get around them with China. And we're forcing a partnership there between China and Russia. And I think on the global stage and on the big stage, I'm more worried about China than I am Russia as far as the United States is concerned. Reprimand, sanctions, equipment, Sidewinder missiles, all that, no problem. We supply a lot of nations with that. But even that is as far as we should go. You can't use our troops. There's a whole new war going on. Russia, they'll start hacking all our systems. Putin, we had a problem with them hacking in the past. And we complained to Putin. I don't know what we did that stopped it. But Putin could just tell all his little black market friends there, go hack away. They'll be hacking everything in the United States, from power grids to banks, fuel storage. We had that problem last year. Distribution, fuel and storage distribution, all that, everything's on computers. And that's the kind of war that it's probably being waged now. We just don't hear enough about it. We just got out of Afghanistan. We don't need to get in another war. We can't spill our blood unless our country itself is threatened. Our United States is threatened. Now, like I said, with China, don't be surprised that China jumps ugly with Taiwan now. Yeah, that's probably a real possibility there. 62% of Americans in a recent poll felt Russia would have never invaded if Trump was the president still. There may be something to that. Russia and China were pretty calm during those Trump years. Maybe there is something to it. But I cannot emphasize this enough. We'll supply everything we can to Ukraine with the except of the blood of our nation's sons and daughters. We're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom Driver Show. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? That's my global take. You don't need no more. Tom's River. Let's get local, where I should be. Tom's River. They are about to start a small business advisory committee. You'll have some of the seated council people on there. And it's a great idea. It should have been done a long time ago. The idea of the advisory committee will be to help small business as we come out of the COVID cloud, and looks like we have COVID on the run now, and attract new small businesses. Now, I've been a big proponent of helping small business along Route 37, and obviously somebody's listening in Tom's River now. When you go down Route 37, you see the vacancies. As you get closer to Seaside Heights, the vacancies become more and more. Seaside Heights is an economic engine for Tom's River. So whatever Tom's River is doing, they got to include Seaside Heights in it, because that's what's going to develop a lot of traffic on Route 35 and on Route 37. I applaud that Mo Hill and the Tom's River Council putting this committee together. If you are interested, now the meeting is going to be held at Town Hall, which I wouldn't hold the meeting at Town Hall. I would hold it in a vacant storefront. I would hold it in some vacant retail operation on 37. There are some certainly large enough to hold the meeting in that are available. There are locations. When I was looking for the studio, and I didn't realize how long I've been in this studio, that are still vacant from like 5-6 years ago that I looked at then. They're still vacant today. There's a lot of vacancies along Route 37. Hold a meeting in one of those. The effect will get everybody's attention. Bring some folding chairs, get the lights turned on, that sort of thing. But right now, the meeting is going to be at Town Hall on March the 15th at 6 p.m. If you want to attend, you want to be a speaker, maybe even join the committee, get in touch with my old buddy, Art Gallagher. He's at Mayor Hill's office. You can reach Art Gallagher, at the email you see on the screen, or you can call at 732-341-1000, extension 8469. We'll have the email and the phone number on the screen. If you're a small business, try to attend this meeting. I don't know if there's a Zoom option. There may be. Tell these elected officials what you need to help your small business survive. I also host a city show in Hudson County, where we all 12 of the Hudson County, and we got a little bit of East Rutherford with the city show. We were just talking about this on that show. 30% of the small businesses are gone from COVID. They're not going to open their doors anymore. There's another 30% that are teetering. You know, I said when I was doing the COVID updates in both studios at the time, it wasn't so much who was going to survive the pandemic, it was who was going to be able to stand when it was over. Because the loss of customers and advertisers and sponsors and grants and whatever way you were getting money, every small business had an issue getting money, except for municipalities. You notice there was no property tax waivers or anything like that. That all went straight through. You didn't pay your property taxes, there was a lien sale. But all small business suffered greatly here. You know, what should this advisory committee do, if it has any teeth? What can they do right off the bat to help small business? Right off, let's waive all municipal fees, all the fees that the municipality has on businesses, from mercantile licenses to inspection fees to permits to health inspections. Whatever Tom's River is charging a small business, we're not charging them now. That's free. That's for at least 2 years. Now, whatever we're enacting now doesn't have to be there for the life of the business. It has to be there to help them get back on their feet. Call it what you wish. You want to call it small business welfare? Fine. Extend it for the 2 years. You know, there's so many things. Offer a simple tax abatement, a 2-year tax abatement. Now, if the property owner, if the business owner isn't a property owner, fine. We will mandate that property owner discount the rent in the amount of that abatement. You know, they can deduct it from the rent. You know, look at waiving school taxes, at least for 2 years on the small businesses. They're not sending any, business isn't sending any kids to the schools. See if we can do that. Put ads for the small businesses on the town website. Put ads on the township's equipment. You see that on school buses. Do everything we can to help the small businesses. Work with Optimum and Verizon on a short 2-year plan to reduce their broadband costs, because everything's on the internet now. Whatever TR buys, Tom's River, buy it locally. Do your damnedest to buy it locally. Go out and recruit small business, become municipal vendors. Do whatever you can. If you're looking at a pen, can I buy that pen in Tom's River? Now, I'm going to mention Staples. You know, Staples doesn't get any business. They go and all those jobs are gone. Can I buy that pen in Tom's River? Can I buy that police car in Tom's River? Can I buy tires in Tom's River? Can I buy papers, whatever it is, in Tom's River? Hometown first. Same thing with the school system. If there's a deli, can they supply lunch to the school system? Can they supply lunch to the township? Is there a way we can get some delis in there? You know, get the county involved. I'm going to talk about this later in the show. The county is flush with money. Get the county involved to work with the small businesses. Help them. Cut the county tax there. Let them issue some small grants to the small business. There's a way to do this if you get everybody on board. And weed money. Let's get the weed money. Not to put our heads in the sand. Get the weed money. You can use it there. Get grants from the state. Do whatever you have to do. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Welcome. Tom's River Show. Me here again. You there? Don't forget all the stuff on the bottom of the screen. Like us on Facebook. Love us on, YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Don't forget live stream. That's our base streaming network. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on all those things. Take advantage of it. Let's talk a little politics in Ocean County. There is, political intrigue, let's say, in the county of Ocean. Carl Block, who has been with the county of Ocean forever. I think he was with the county before there was a county. He's been there 40 years. He's the BA for the county. He is not going to be reappointed. In essence, he's been fired. Now, I heard about this a week or so ago. So I had texted some of the Ocean County mayors who knew Carl Block. I said, did you hear about Carl getting fired? Nah, that's not happening. Yeah, well, yesterday I texted him again. I said, guess what? It did happen. He's got 40 years in. He'll march off in the sunset and everything will be fine. But that's not how you treat a 40-year veteran of Ocean County. It's the wrong way to do it. You could have just let him mosey on off in June, but no. As I understand it, and as I'm told, Jenny Haynes fired him. And what we're being told is crosshairs on the backs of anybody who was loyal to George Gilmore at one time. Now, the Ocean County chairmanship is up. It'll be decided this spring. And right now, the talk is Sheriff Mike Mastronardi. I don't think Mike wants to walk in to this political cesspool that is brewing here in Ocean County. It's affected Toms River. That's why you have two different Toms River Republican clubs now, because of the lack of leadership in Ocean County. Now, where's Jack Kelly on the Ocean County Commissioner Board? He is the actual director. I think Jenny Haynes is the assistant director, but she apparently is calling the shots right now. Why? I don't know. She used to be a Gilmore person. Now I understand she's a Frank Holman person. And Frank Holman people are going to be in very short supply because Frank isn't looking to be reelected. So you're going to have a new chairperson. Now, do not discount George Gilmore. George Gilmore is one of the smartest guys politically in the room. He could bring sense to Ocean County. I know some of the mayors and council people in Ocean County and various communities do not particularly care for George Gilmore. He will bring sanity back to Ocean County. I just don't think Mike Mastronardi is a cop's cop. Great sheriff, great guy. I've known him for all the years I've been involved in Seaside Heights here. Would he make a good Ocean County chairperson? Yeah, I think Mike could run anything. But does he want to get in with all the drama and the cesspool that the Ocean County government, GOP government, has become? I sincerely doubt Mike wants to put his toes in that water. He's probably upset that he's part of it as a member. I don't think he wants to be the one that's going to, row the boat and try to get things organized. You got a lot of cleaning up, and it's this show's on Toms River. We cover Toms River. Is complete political dysfunction in Toms River. Like I said, you got the two Republican clubs. You have a split Toms River Council. So, isn't exactly going to get any gold stars for chairmanship and leadership here on the Ocean County level, and it's just deteriorating as we speak. Gas prices. I'm going to talk about this, I think, a little bit later also in the show. Gas prices have jumped. Now I use premium fuel. I always use premium fuel. Don't believe anybody who tells you, regular's fine. If you got a V8, actually, I'd even go with B6, especially if you got an older one. Use premium fuel. Premium fuel on the turnpike jumped up to $4.32 a gallon. Yeah, this is what I was talking about in the city show the other day about the Biden effect. The Biden effect is crushing to everybody here in the United States. A year and a half, something, we were the largest producer of energy and oil. We were self-sufficient. We were exporting oil. Now we're dependent on oil. We're getting Russian oil. We need to go back. They do a Thanos there with the time stone. Go back and start becoming energy sufficient, reliant only on our own capabilities. I'm not against solar or wind. I'm a big nuclear guy. Start up the nuclear plants. It is a clean source of energy. And everybody's at the Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island, isolated cases. For that matter, what was the first city Russia took? Chernobyl. We need to become energy sufficient and to go back to where we were. Open the pipelines, do all we can, because everything that's happening with these energy prices, because everything is affected by the energy prices, no matter which way. I'm looking at tourism here for Seaside Heights, as I said earlier. It is an economic engine for Toms River. At $4.32, and it's proportionate with regular and the plus, it is going to put a day trip or a weekend trip out of reach for a lot of people, just the fuel alone, and everything else is going up proportionally. That fuel, that affects the cost of food that's delivered to a restaurant, the cost of clothing, the heat, light, and power in the hotels where people are going to stay. Everything goes up along with the energy costs going up. It becomes too expensive for somebody to ride down from Mahwah or Union City to enjoy a day trip or a weekend in Seaside Heights because it's just too expensive. The inflation is just running rampant. It's the worst it has been, I think, in my lifetime. They're saying it's the worst it's been in 40 years. I'm 64. It's the worst I've ever seen it. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
The Maverick feels like it's made for me.
You get a lot of standard features for the money, like a hybrid-based powertrain. So you have the power and fuel economy.
In a city, I can get where I need to go without having to wonder if I'm going to fit the parking space.
Plus, you get a versatile flex bed, pre-collision assist, and a lot more.
You guys, that was so good. So many standard features. That makes me feel really good.
Before I go, I want to say that 2 winning tickets to the lottery were sold in Toms River at the ShopRite. One's sharing a $1.9 million pot, the other one for $50,000. And let me go on record as saying I do not buy my lottery tickets at the ShopRite. I buy them in Jersey City at KJ's or in Seaside Heights at TC Liquors. That's it for the show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.